What's up, y'all, man? I'm Lonzo on the Upper Echelon World, man. Here on the first episode of my podcast, Upper Echelon Unlocked. I got a guest right here with me, man. This man been going crazy with the pop-up shops and everything, his brand and all that. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so what's up, y'all? I'm Tre, 19, here from Macon, and basically I own a clothing brand and I throw pop-up shops down here, and I'm kind of getting into influence and content creating a little bit too.
All right, now tell us about Dead Rich and what's the meaning behind your brand and how you got started.
Okay, so Dead Rich, that's my clothing brand. I started in September of 2020, so around COVID. There was nothing to do. I was sitting at home bored, and I always liked designing and clothes, so I was like, why not make money from something I love doing? So I came up with the name Dead Rich, which means, the meaning behind it is basically, you have, a lot of people have ideas and they're afraid of what other people think, so they never come out with the ideas. So when they pass away, they wind up taking those ideas to the grave with them. And that's where Les Brown, his quote comes in, that the graveyard is the richest place on earth. So basically, I'm putting my ideas out.
That's hard. I ain't know that. I ain't never knew that either. Like as far as the origin of what your brand name is. So
yeah,
that's hard. That's hard. Now that I kind of got that meaning of it. Okay. And then you recently just had a Making Anything Possible pop-up. Like, can you walk us through what went into organizing such a big event? Because you had hundreds of people though.
Yeah.
So how did that whole process go with getting that together?
Okay, so basically I threw my very first pop-up in, I believe it was May. No, it wasn't May. It was back to school, so it was July of 2023, I believe. And basically, it was just me and my two brothers, Jalen and AJ. We came up with this group, Three-Peat. And from that, we on the scene, we kind of piggybacked off of that. We was like, they got that going on in Atlanta, so why not bring something down here to Macon? So we decided to throw a pop-up. I gathered a few brands, and that first one, it was packed. So I was like, why not do another one? So then I threw one that December. That one was crazy. And then I came back in 2024 and I threw one in December. And that was my craziest one yet. I had brands from all over Georgia. Even I had a couple come from Atlanta as well. And they said they did real good. So yeah, I plan to keep going with those.
What's up, man? I really fuck with what you got going on for the pop-ups, and because all that tying to keeping the streetwear scene, especially in Macon, because I feel like Macon, we already don't really have a streetwear scene. We kind of starting to have one, and more people are more pop-ups and people opening stores and people. It's a lot of people in Macon starting brands, so it's like we got a streetwear scene, but it's like we kind of still pulling that teeth to get it, to be a certain thing. So I really fuck with what you got going on. That's hard that you're able to kind of still even bring out that kind of crowd. Cause how old are you?
I'm 19.
That's big. That's big for your age. So
I think we just gotta get everybody to be serious with it. So me doing the pop-ups, I see that if folks see that I'm serious, it'll make them get them to push to want to go and do it too.
Right, because I definitely say you putting them pop-ups together, that's something that have even inspired me, just throwing pop-ups here too. So I want to say, just keep going with everything you got going on, man. It's dope. And then let me get into my next question. So seeing that type of crowd show up for an event you put together, how did it make you feel, and what do that experience be like for you?
It just let me know that I'm having an impact on the city that I'm from. It was crazy. I even had folks sitting up outside. I didn't even know they was out there sitting up. It got so packed on the inside, they was out there sitting up on cars. And it was packed outside just like it was on the inside. So it's just crazy seeing everybody come out to something that I put together.
I seen, man. It was just straight vibes. I seen people outside. They posting on their head. I seen people with their clothes on their car.
Yep.
It was selling it just seemed like it was just a big a big vibe. It was kind of block party vibe.
Yeah,
pop up still. And I know people made a lot of money because when I did the one that you had December 2023.
Yeah.
Sales are crazy. So if anybody wondering, should I pay Tre that money for that vendor slot? You need to go on and send it, man. Soon as he dropped the cash up, man, send it. Because you going to get sales. it's gonna be a good event, and you're gonna have a good experience too.
Yeah, and it'll all be positive too.
So I want to ask you too, like, so from the time and the money and all the behind the scenes work, like, what does it take to pull off an event like that too? Like, just a successful pop up or any type of mix or event or just anything. Like, what all kind of go into pulling off it and making it a success?
I say consistency and dedication. You gotta be on it with the brands, finding photography, people that do videos, a DJ. You just gotta be able to be on it and be on people as well. Cause if you're not on them, they ain't gonna worry about it. So yeah, I have to tell people make sure your tables, you bring a certain size table so everybody can fit. Have to make sure everybody there on time, because if you're not set up on time, I can't open doors on time. And yeah, so you just gotta be on it. So I say consistency and dedication.
Do you feel like with as far as like the tables and the slots filling up, do you ever have brands so that way you kind of fill up and they be mad at you about slots being took?
Not necessarily, because I'm not gonna lie. Usually I do set a deadline for vendor slots, but I do allow people to still pay after the deadline because I want to give everybody an opportunity to come and sell and get their brand out there. But I will say, like, the brands that pay by deadline, they are always first priority.
Right, and it is easy to get like a better table too
Yeah.
when you pay when the promo first start. Cause like when I had pop up here, like I'm really limited on space, so
Yeah.
I had a lot of people hit me up like, and then I kind of felt like, cause it be so many people that show love and everything,
Yeah.
and it like you can't. It's kind of hard to accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
So,
But you don't want to tell them no.
yeah, you don't want to tell them no. So I definitely feel like it can be kind of tough sometimes with telling people no. So
Yeah, but I feel like that's where you have to set your standard from a business side to let them know that, like, I need this by this time, and just let them know that that's.
yeah, you got to set those boundaries, man. That's definitely important. Like, so pop up shops, they have been a key part of like just growing. They're like a key part of growing a brand. So how important, like, do you feel like they are as far as expanding a brand's reach and visibility?
I think pop-up shops, they're very important in that. I know
Yeah.
what are they called? SMS. I know at pop-ups, even if even if somebody's not buying from your brand, you can always have them sign up for your SMS, because when they scan that QR code, it'll constantly send them messages, let them know that, oh, you just dropped on this day, or I got pre-orders coming up, so they can see what you're selling. And then, I mean, you don't know where people are coming from or who's coming to the pop-up shop, so it's a great place to network too. So I feel like, having pop-up shops and getting your brand at pop-up shops is a great way to expand your brand.
Yeah, you just dropped the gym too. A lot of people do be sleeping on like the SMS
Yeah.
and email marketing. Like that's one of the main ways to kind of like have direct access to your customers. Like, and not even just your customers, just people who actually interested in your brand too. Like, I feel like every brand should have when people first click on your website link, it should have something for them to sign up
Yeah.
to the SMS or email list. Like that's so crucial. And they play like a big role as far as like really being able to boom, okay, we just dropped this, or we got this event coming up.
Yeah.
And like let's say social media go down. You got your SMS list,
Yeah.
you got your email list, like none of these apps all the apps that we be on all day, just they not guaranteed anything can happen. Like so having direct access to your customer is important. So he definitely just dropped the gem. So if you're a brand out here and you watching, that's something else that you need to take heed with, and I would say really implement that into your brand too.
Yeah, and then, throwing them 10% off or free shipping to get them to sign up for the SMS, getting, like, persuading them, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that is important too, especially like a good offer, like you just said, as far as the offer, some kind of incentive for them signing up. They're gonna make people sign up a lot faster too. So y'all take that gym, because like I said, a lot of people will go to a pop up and they might be like, dang, I ain't getting no sales and
Yeah.
people ain't buying, but you still gotta work that crowd. Like
Yeah.
you gotta work that crowd still. So
Yeah, because analytics matter too. Sometimes they more important than your sales. Showing that you have something to back up your brand. Yeah.
That so I saw you just recently started at Clark and Nana. Is this your first year out there?
Yeah, that's my first year. I'm in my second semester now.
And what's up? So how has that transition been from leaving the city like Macon and going to Atlanta?
It's been crazy, I say, just from moving from a slow paced city. Well, not necessarily slow paced, but slower than Atlanta and then going to a fast paced city. It's just crazy because here everybody knows everybody. And then when you get to Atlanta, you meet all new people from different backgrounds. This person might be a stylist. You might have somebody who raps, and just it's an easy way to network and connect with everybody. So I say it is positive and a good transition because it's allowed me to get myself out there more.
Do you feel like it has helped you kind of like build up a certain type of network that you didn't have before?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like too. I've been seeing you like you've been going crazy. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to touch on that too. I know like leaving Macon, I feel like a lot of people kind of be like, I don't know like how I'm gonna do up there. Or they
Yeah.
might have been popular down here, and then they go up there, they kind of get faced with everybody up there
Yeah,
popping. So
that was my exact thoughts when I went up there too. It was like I'm known down here. Going up to Atlanta, it's like everybody known. Ain't nobody famous up there. So it's like you just gotta fit in, get in where you fit in.
yeah, they got a saying in Atlanta that everybody is a celebrity in Atlanta. So
It's true too. You don't really know it for real until you get up there, but it's true. Everybody up there's a celebrity.
So like with Clark, have you did like anything on campus as far as like with your brand or is there something you plan on doing?
So I haven't done anything yet. I really haven't even been doing much with my brand lately. And I honestly ain't even been there active on campus as much as I want to be. But I do plan in April. Well, y'all will be the first people to hear it. But in April, I'm throwing a fashion show with three fashion majors up at Clark and then a student here at Mercer. So yeah, we're throwing a fashion show up in Atlanta in April.
So like what's y'all vision? If you don't mind sharing like what's y'all vision for the fashion show too?
Okay, so we haven't got too far into it yet, but it's basically we trying to get towards more like a vintage theme, and then we're gonna allow local brands to put their pieces in the show too. So we're gonna tie their clothes into our theme.
Okay. And you said this will be sometime in April, so y'all be on the lookout for that. And then like just make sure y'all lock in with Trey too if there's something that y'all interested in being a part of. Like all of these events, these fashion shows, pop-up shops, all of these play a role, man. Just getting your brand out there and that visibility and that reach and just all of that. So all of that is important for, growing your brand. So with your creative process, what does like your creative process look like when you come up with new ideas or like when you're planning events? Like where do you draw inspiration from, even just down to when you like design your pieces, or do you have like a designer?
Honestly, well, all my everything that I design for my brand, I design on my own. And honestly, I'm just in my room either watching shows or you know I'm just looking at different things. You get ideas from anything, but it's not bad. A lot of people think it is, but I mean, it's not bad to piggyback off of other people too. Because I mean, you have to start from somewhere. I know there's a book called How to Steal Like an Artist. I know a couple brands who I mean, they get ideas from Balenciaga and make it their own, and you wouldn't even know. So yeah, me, I mean, I kind of brainstorm on my own, but I do have a lot of times where I just go blank and I don't know what to do. But yeah, I just look at others and kind of piggyback off of what they're doing and throw my own twist onto it.
That makes sense. And I tell people all the time, it's a difference between being inspired by something and copying it. You
Yeah,
taking inspiration from something. I feel like everybody take some kind of inspiration from something. I don't think anybody kind of just building an idea
yeah,
just solely like just straight scratch. It's some kind of inspiration. You even just down to knowing what, because see we're doing clothes. You got to know what people wearing too. Like
yeah,
you kind of do have to be on trend. And I know a lot of people feel like, well, now I feel like I'm making the same thing like everybody else, and I'm on the same wave as everybody else. But I feel like you do have to you got to be on trend with what people wearing, because you don't want to make something too and don't say, at the end of the day, this still a business. So you want your stuff to sell.
Yeah, you gotta make what sells. Yeah.
Cause like clothes, getting inventory, and especially when you like going overseas and using these China manufacturing, so that it's expensive.
Yeah.
So I know everybody want their clothes to do good. You want to make that money back. Like you want your stuff to be a success. So you do kind of have to stay on trend as far as what people wearing. And like I said, all that comes back to like that inspiration too. And I tell people all the time, it is a lot. You save a lot of money designing yourself versus using a designer.
Yeah.
Like, I design all my stuff too. I didn't use a designer once on one of my pieces, but everything else I had designed, because it's like, well, you gonna keep paying a graphic designer. You can't really even get creative like you want to too. Like it's kind of hard though. If you got to pay somebody every time you got an idea, it's
and the majority of the time they taking designs too.
Yeah. A lot of them are. They taking from the next studio design. If you go on your explore page and you in the streetwear algorithm, you're gonna see a bunch of studio designers on Instagram. Yeah. You're gonna see a bunch of them. Like then all the ideas and what they making for everybody, you're gonna be like, shit, all this kind of look the same. Yeah. Like So that's why I tell people all the time, it's a difference between being inspired by something and copying, because you do got a lot of people that they just straight up jack something. Like when Hellstar came out, I know a lot of people were biting that wave. Yeah. Like they was the same exact font, the same exact job, just a different lane. Yep. And you had like Vertebrae, really every big brand that kind of have a wave. Yeah. You have a lot of people hopping on their wave. So that's one thing that I feel like you gotta know how to differentiate, like when you're doing clothes and when you designing, especially if you designing your own clothes too. So just always keep that in mind too. So like with social media, how has social media played a role in growing your brand and spreading the word, like with just events, even like the making anything possible pop up? How has social media played a role with it?
So I say social media is a big help. I know, well, mainly with Instagram, that's what I put my focus on. I can never get into TikTok. Trying to find your target audience on there, I just find it too hard. I already built up an Instagram, being in high school, and I have friends and junk. So yeah, it's just easier to build off of there. But I say it's helped a lot because Reels. When you post a reel, it doesn't just go to your followers. When you go on IG Reels and scroll, everybody sees your reels. So I say that's a big help. That's why I try to get a video recap of all my pop-up shops, because I post a reel and then it reaches thousands and thousands of views.
When you did that flyer this time, you had like I said, you had a lot of shit.
That last flyer I posted hit over 100K.
Yeah. See that, and that's dope. And not like all that kind of like help with reach too. So I was like, dang, yeah, that's big. Yeah. That's big to kind of have that much attention and that many people engaged in what you got going on.
Yeah, that's another thing too. You want shares on Instagram. When you post on Instagram, you want shares and comments. Your likes really don't matter. You want shares. Shares are most important though, because when you get shares, that's the more and more people you have to see what you're posting.
Right. Do you feel like the shares and just all that engagement is more important than people having a big following?
Yes, because the shares and the engagement is what'll bring followers to your page. So yeah.
Thanks. That makes sense too, because I think a lot of people get caught up in feeling like they need their brand have to have a certain amount of followers, or not even their brand, just their own personal page. I think they get caught up in feeling like they got to have a lot of followers, when really engagement is more important than followers.
The followers will come.
Yeah, as long as they engage,
especially if you're consistent. Yeah,
they're gonna come at the end. Like I feel like too, you have to kind of find your niche on Instagram now too, like. People that really like, okay, they like your content. They like what kind of clothes you're wearing. They like how you style this and how you style that, or how you do this a bit. Like you have to find your niche and know people that really gravitate toward what you got going on too. So I want that. Also, just piggybacking off of that, do you feel like it's important for people to kind of build their own like audience or support, or do you feel like they need to try to just reach everybody?
I think it's okay to start off by reaching your audience because that's mainly who's gonna shop with you. But later on, you want to try to reach the attention of others because you never know what somebody might like.
Right. I feel like with me, when I started, I kind of like, I feel like I was trying to reach everybody, which ain't a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I noticed like now with clothes, you kind of got to move on to like a niche or people that just like your own little community. Like it's still good to have everybody and reach everybody, but ain't nothing like having that community, with your brand. So, and all that kind of goes back to the like doing the SMS list, the email list, and just having those people right there, like just ready to support and ready to just be a part of what you got going on.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask you too, like, so looking ahead, like, what's next for the Making Anything Possible franchise, and do you have any plans? Well, I know you told me you're gonna do a pop-up shop in
May.
May.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one in May.
So what's your end goal with the Making Anything Possible?
So eventually, I want to become like a streetwear market. I want a big venue, but my next step with my pop-ups is to get a sponsorship. So I want a known company to sponsor our pop-ups. So I don't know how or who, but I'm gonna make it happen.
It's gonna happen, like, cause you putting in the work right now too. You really getting out there. You making those connections. You in Atlanta. You got your head on right. You in school. So I think all of that gonna come together for you too.
Yeah.
Have you thought about doing any collaborations just with Clark as far as like sponsorships too?
No, I haven't. Like I told you, I haven't really been too involved on camp like that. So not really.
Yeah, you kind of still just trying to like find your foot
Yeah.
Campus. It makes sense.
I know I was real quiet fall semester, but I started doing a lot more since school started this spring.
Was it like, were you kind of like just nervous to kind of like just meet new people? 'Cause I know they can be like kind of challenging. Yeah. You don't know how they come in like.
No, I wouldn't say I was nervous. I just wasn't too into meeting nobody new, honestly. That's all it was. But I kind of had a little sit down with myself. I was like, I'm gonna have to get myself out there if I want to grow. So yeah, this spring semester I've been doing a lot of modeling. I've been meeting a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah, I
just took that push.
I seen where you just modeled some pieces for Rich Light.
Yeah.
Rich Light, it's another hard brand out of the city. That's up there in another too, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Kylan too, Rich Light. Also, I'm gonna have you model some pieces for Open Echelon too. We're gonna work on that soon too. And also I wanted to ask you too, like what advice do you have? This is actually the last question I wanted to ask you too. What advice do you have to someone who wants to start their own brand or business, but they ain't really sure where to begin?
You said not really sure where to begin?
Yeah, and like what advice would you give to like an aspiring entrepreneur clothing?
Okay, so the biggest advice I'm gonna give is something that I struggle with. You can't care what anybody else has to say. You gotta just do you. You gotta just do you because you are your biggest competitor. If you competing with yourself, you can't be worried about nobody else. So yeah, I'd say the biggest advice, you can't be worried about anybody else. You just gotta do what you want to do because the longer you sit back, the longer you just gonna be there.
Right, no facts. I also add in too. I would say just start. Like, don't worry about what result you're gonna get or how it's gonna come out or if it's gonna sell like this. Like, you kind of just gotta start. And
Yeah.
Cause I feel like when you kind of sit on ideas and procrastinate, you'll talk yourself. You'll not even realize you'll talk yourself out of not even starting.
Yep. And the longer you sit back, somebody else will go do it.
Right.
And beat you to it.
Like, damn, they did that. Like. And it happens. It happens.
They took that from me, no. They ain't take it. You just didn't do it.
They went ahead and got started. So like I would say, just start. And also, like he said, just do you. Don't worry about what everybody else thinking. Like just do you. Just do you. So yeah, man, that pretty much wrap up their first episode of Open Echelon Unlocked, man. Y'all make sure y'all go tap in with Trey from Dead Rich social medias. Yeah, our social media, mine is Open Echelon World. You can tell.
Supreme _Trade, SXPREMEE_TRE, and then the brand page Dead Rich LLC. And I'll be making a page for our pop up brand too soon for the pop up in May. Getting a little bit more serious with that, and then stay tuned for the fashion show in April.
Man, like I said, man, y'all make sure y'all tap in with Tre, man. I also want to give you your flowers right here. Like I said, just keep going with everything you got going on. Like just to be 19 and to be able to bring out that type of crowd and with everything you got going on and being in school, like you're doing a lot for your age. So
Appreciate it.
that's dope. Like just keep going with everything. Don't block out any negative energy. Like just keep doing you. All right, y'all, man. So that pretty much wraps up that first episode, man. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to